Police Department to the Department of Defense, from the Nevada Gaming Commission to the Quebec Securities Commission. These papers include thousands of Hughes's handwritten and dictated memoranda, family letters, CIA memoranda, FBI reports, contracts with nearly a dozen departments and agencies of the federal government, loan agreements, hundreds of memoranda and reports prepared by Hughes executives and lawyers, deeds, mortgages, lease agreements, corporate charters, census reports, college records, federal income tax returns, oral history transcripts, partnership agreements, autopsy reports, birth and death records, marriage license applications, divorce records, naturalization petitions, bankruptcy records, corporation annual reports, stock offering circulars, real estate assessment records, notary public commissions, applications for pilot certificates, powers of attorney, minutes of the board meetings of Hughes's companies, police records, transcripts of Securities and Exchange Commission proceedings, genealogical records, government audit reports, voter registration records, annual assessment work affidavits, transcripts of Civil Aeronautics Board proceedings, the daily logs of Hughes's activities, hearings and reports of committees of the House of Representatives and Senate, transcripts of Federal Communications Commission proceedings, wills, estate records, grand jury testimony, trial transcripts, civil and criminal court records. None of this is to suggest that all information appearing in an official government document or legal record is the whole truth. Obviously, such is not the case. Long before Clifford Irving appeared with his spurious autobiography of Hughes, forged documents, although uncommon, were not unknown in the Hughes empire. A fake memorandum bearing Hughes's name, submitted to McGraw-Hill by Irving as evidence of the authenticity of his manuscript, was not the first or last time that Hughes's signature was forged. Nor was it the last time that someone prepared a bogus Hughes memorandum. Moreover, thousands of critical documents once in the possession of the Hughes organization have been destroyed as no longer necessary, or to avoid embarrassment or conceal wrongdoing. Other documents are being withheld from public inspection by United States government agencies for possibly the same reasons. And other Hughes documents have been stolen. The records that are available, however, provide a rich source of new information and enable one to establish what is fraudulent or fiction, substantiate what actually was, and bring one closer to the truth. Because so much misinformation has already been published, we have attempted to reduce speculation to a minimum, to speculate only when the evidence warrants, and to lay out the facts, to allow the reader to reach conclusions, to make judgments. Much of the material presented here, especially covering the last 20 years of Hughes's life, has become available only since his death, and particularly within the past year, as courts in Houston, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Wilmington have been inundated in an ongoing flood of paperwork growing out of the administration of the Hughes estate. In addition, there has been a series of civil lawsuits involving Hughes companies that have yielded a similar volume of paperwork. Businesses are seldom willing to open their corporate files for historians, but because of the legal actions brought by and against Hughes companies, there now is available an unprecedented accumulation of records and documents that set forth the inner workings of the billion-dollar empire. For much of his life, everything that Hughes said, everything that he did, was duly recorded in a memorandum, as were many of the actions of his staff and executives. Although he seldom wrote a personal letter, the best estimate is fewer than a dozen over the last half-century of his life. He was a prolific memorandum writer, some weeks writing or dictating hundreds of pages, and in the process revealing as much about himself as about his businesses. Indeed, perhaps no other man has poured out so many business communications that told also so much about his most personal thoughts and beliefs. These documents, too, have become available in increasing numbers over the past year. Only this wealth of fresh, inimitable material has made our book possible. But even so, we have not answered each question, explored every road in Howard Hughes's life. No single book could do that. What we have sought to do here is to set down for the first time the story of a powerful and curious American who has rightly, if for many of the wrong reasons, fascinated our age. Acknowledgements. Many obligations are incurred in a research project of 4 years' duration. The following list, therefore, is not intended to be all-inclusive, but rather an indication of the extent of our debt and a symbol of our gratitude to all who assisted. We would first like to extend our deepest appreciation to those persons who, for one reason or another, must remain anonymous. They are the past and present employees of the Hughes organization.